I'm always like, I only know him as Tight, right?
Yep.
Which is his screen name, which is he's in the rap game. Is it still a game?
Oh yeah.
It's still a game.
It's all fun.
But every time he comes in, and he comes in and buys a cigar, and I type in Tight, and nothing pops up. So then I always have to ask him what his phone number is and go through all that shit. And then every time I see it, I go, damn, I know it's Rashad, but all I see is Tight. Because I saw a video that you guys did.
Yeah.
And it was tight. It was tight. So Rashad comes in. How many times a week do you come in?
4 to 5.
4 to 5 times a week. Yeah. So we're going to call that a regular, nearly resident of ICC. So he didn't buy his cigars, he pays rent, and it works out great. But had been with us. You're not really a day oneer, but you've been with us for many years.
I'm like a month 3-er though.
You're close,
right? Yeah.
Because remember, I had emailed about it before y'all opened. Remember, I came on like, yo, I've been sending like 2-3 emails to see about membership, blah, blah, blah. And that's when I first met you. Because he was in the front, and I was like, yo, I've sent like 3-4 emails. And like, oh, I'm so sorry, blah, 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 blah. Got me taken care of, though. Been here since.
Yeah. Almost 5 years.
We could figure out exactly the date. But yeah, you've been here for a long time. This is Rashad Gross. For those of you who haven't met him, now you get a chance to smoke a cigar with him.
Yeah.
What do they need to know about you? This isn't going to be really an interview, but just to break the ice so they know who they're sitting having a cigar with. What do they need to know about you?
Well, half man, half amazing. No. I mean, a little bit about me. I'll say what people say about me. I'm a man who was worn a lot of hats, different hats. Had a lot of careers, been through a lot of things. I'm in the music, been in the music for probably, I think 19 years now.
Wow.
Started real young, middle school, still do it. For people that follow me, or if you want to Google me, I was in a group with a guy called Charlie Boy, CHALIEBOY.
Charlie Boy.
Yes, it's Charlie Boy. And if you ask him, it's not Charlie, it's Charlie.
Yeah.
But we were in a group. Grew up around Houston area. I moved out here back in like 05. Got with another group out here, did a major deal. Now I have my own independent label, Poem Music, which stands for Poetry of My Emotions. Dabbled and dabbled in a whole lot of different things. I'm also an IT knucklehead. Which people meet me and they be like, no way, be like, yes way. You know?
I don't know if this translates on camera, but it looks like maybe you're here just watching film because you got spring ball starting up here pretty quick.
Yeah.
You look like you could still strap it on and play.
I did.
You played some college ball?
Yeah, I played a little bit. I went to Sam Houston State. Played in Bryan High School out in towards College Station area. Kind of a just by
default.
By default.
Yeah.
By default. I actually got a scholarship to go to Arkansas. Didn't understand the out-of-state tax, so wound up back in Texas. It was expensive. Well, it was funny. It was expensive back then, but not now, because I can't believe what people pay for school now.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
They're paying $15,000 to $30,000 to send a kid to first grade in a private school for watercolors.
I'll tell you what.
Finger paints.
A full
load, $30,000.
A full load of college when I was going was about $1,200 a semester. So about $2,400, $2,500 a year.
Nebraska in the state was about $8,000 a year, somewhere in that ballpark. Whew. I pay more for a Montessori school for my kids right now. Yeah. I'm going, shit, I wish I could pay university prices for Montessori.
I don't know if you ever paid for daycare, but I mean, we paid daycare back in San Antonio 20 plus years ago. I think now they're paying like $1,200 a week. I think
What?
Yeah.
A week?
I think we're paying like maybe half that, $500, $600 a week, which is a lot for a young couple, but $1,000, yeah, $4,000 a month for daycare.
Holy
Yeah.
shit, man. You're just working to
So yeah,
put your kids in school.
you start off there.
Pretty
so-
much. That's it.
Yeah, Lauren went to a private school because it was cheaper. I mean, we didn't put her in because we were already paying, for whatever amount of money for daycare, and it just makes sense to put her in in private school, Catholic private school for 7 years. So
That's the same thing with
Yeah.
Alessia. With both Alessia and Eli's. Well, but you can have a live-in maid for the price that these kids can go to a glorified daycare.
Yep.
No, I'm happy with where they're at, but regardless, I'm glad to have
That's
you in
what we
here.
do, right?
That's all we're saying. Sean Ratt's coming in. Wayne Ferguson, sound off whoever's in the building.
Jerry
Cheers to all of you.
Jerry Vaughn is in, Chris Coulter's in, JD Mars is in, Sam is in, Marty Upton. A lot of people in. We got LaGrange, Missouri. We got Boston. We got them coming in from all over the place. I don't think anybody in California watches this.
and we got Joe Davila. What's up, man? Thanks for being with us.
Maybe from the Cigars and Guns side of things, there's some Californians, but
No, they watch us. They just live in Texas now.
That's right.
Yeah.
that's exactly right.
When I check the Cigars and Guns page, it tells you like where your followers are mostly at. California's the highest. California's the highest.
eyes.
Get this, New York, the second.
They're just dreaming about guns.
Texas
Yeah,
comes
they
in
want,
third.
they want our gun law.
Yeah,
It's weird.
they want our taxes. They want our
That's
tobacco
the
tax.
taxes,
All that.
or our lack of taxes.
Yeah.
For them, right?
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
They want our freedom. I mean, we just watched that because Nicole's from California. Nicole's never, I don't know if she's ever seen a firearm.
Wow.
Ever. I mean, the way she looked at it
Yeah.
was as though she was looking at
An alien.
an alien.
Yeah.
And so I just bought a firearm from Adrian, and if you're looking for an AR or for any firearm,
Yeah.
buy it from Adrian. And you get this moment where they realize they live in Texas. And I think it's a good equalizer because I think when she gets in her car, she's not going to cut anybody else off. You know,
Yeah.
you get cut off by some Californians here. You go, oh, they haven't been here long enough.
No.
They don't know it yet. But you're from Texas originally, right?
Yeah.
You're
right.
Texas.
Texas.
I noticed the first thing that Californians do when they move here is they take their plates off their car. They immediately
Yeah.
get Texas plates because I don't think they want that California plate rolling around.
Well, it's better to live, though, right?
Where is better?
It doesn't get much better.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
And if our summers weren't as hot, I think Dallas could be the biggest city in the world.
It's getting there.
It's getting there
We're the only
fast.
place that has expansion, like development. You know what I mean? Like if you go to Houston, everywhere they pretty much built it out. Like here, it's construction everywhere you look at out here. You know what I'm saying? Because we're still expanding.
Don't you think Dallas ultimately is going to be like Kansas City, Kansas, and Kansas City, Missouri? It's going to be like
Yeah.
Dallas, Oklahoma.
I know, right?
Yeah.
We're heading that way. We're only 50 miles away.
Oh yeah.
We're not that. Yeah, you're right.
I
That's
mean,
not
that's
that far.
real. That's real.
And if you think about from 2000, early 2000s, we're about 8 miles away from where it stopped. So in 20 years, this city has gone up 10, 15 miles in 20 years.
Yeah. It's kind of like Texarkana. There's gonna be like a Tex or Oklahoma.
Texoma.
Texoma, Tex Oklahoma or something like that, right?
I think
Look, I'm an advocate for the wall if we get to Oklahoma. 'Cause I'm not an Oklahoma fan. Now, as a Nebraskan, the Oklahomas, we need to build the wall.
Yeah, I think we should stop calling it the DFW area and Cigar Hammer Mike is he's in the Fort Worth area. That's a drive.
Yeah, it is a drive.
Fort Worth, and we got some members, right? That come
Yeah. Rob Goodwin comes in every week from.
I think Rob's in right now. What's up, Rob?
times a week, but yeah, when you call it the DFW, like where do you live? DFW. I was like, okay, yeah,
That's a
let's
lot.
meet up.
Yeah.
That's big.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm in Salina.
Yeah.
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 Oh,
No, you don't have an idea.
I was looking
Yeah.
at that because where we're from in Omaha, the drive out to York, Nebraska, it's as beautiful as York, Nebraska sounds. That drive is forever. It is a shorter distance than from Richardson to Fort Worth, and this is all country driving. From Omaha to York, which is in the middle of nowhere, halfway across the state. It's the same distance as Richardson to Fort Worth.
Interesting.
All right, so this,
Yeah,
our
it's
little
all
slice, and it's
back
unbelievable.
roads,
It's
yeah.
so big.
Yeah.
So we got your boy coming in from Omaha. DJ Busy B is coming in.
Busy B.
Smoking
Liz.
one in Omaha right now.
Liz.
You gotta be up with Safari.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious, is he at Safari?
I'm sure he is. I'm sure he's at Safari.
Yeah.
Well, and you remember, Mike, he just made a comment and said he packed a lunch in the cooler when he came to visit ICC. You kind of have to.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah.
JJ, what's happening? Sam, oh yeah, Sam's up in Denison. Yeah, that's gonna be North McKinney here in a minute.
Yeah.
We got some questions on what we're smoking.
Oh,
I'm super excited.
Copa, Biz, they don't let you in the Copa.
They don't let you in, Copa.
Biz, well, you get past 168.
Get your ass out of West Omaha, man. You're not gonna make it.
Oh, man.
The sun's going down. You're in West Omaha. Get the fuck out of there.
I definitely wouldn't trust me.
No.
2 shades darker than me in West Omaha.
No.
At night? No, you don't do that, Biz. Come on, you know better than that. What are we smoking? That's a
Well,
really good question.
you know the line better than anybody on the planet.
Yeah.
And by the
Well-
way, the release of this line and that video that you did is unreal.
Yeah.
If you haven't watched the launch video for German engineered cigars, Brandon will put a post to it. But it is incredible. It's like, I wish it was a movie because it looks like
Yeah.
a preview to a movie
Yeah.
that I want to watch. I mean, it is incredible job, kiddo.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Man. No, I really had fun with it. I dropped it in there. If you want to watch it, watch it. If not, I don't really give a shit. But
You had
regardless,
fun.
this is called the Autonom. This is by German engineered cigars. These guys, what I love is they roll in a couple of different countries. They roll in the Dominican and they also roll in Nicaragua. But the one that we're smoking right now is called the Autonom, or German for autonomy. Be your own person, basically. This blend is unlike anything I've seen. And as you go through, they use some tobaccos, talking nerdy here. One of their blends has Nicaraguan Connecticut wrapper, Indonesian binder, Jalapa Valley, Connecticut broadleaf, and Criollo 98. I understand if you're not a cigar nerd, that doesn't
No.
make sense, but
But
that's
that's the United Nations of cigars.
it really is. It's
Yeah.
like the AMG motor sitting on a Ferrari
Oh wow.
a drivetrain. It's
Yeah,
got
all in an
BMW
F-150.
chassis. Yeah. it doesn't make sense why these all work together, but it's a different palette.
It's a
It's new.
flavor explosion.
And this Lancero, what I love is it is similar to Principal in that they don't have much of this tobacco,
Yeah.
but they have enough tobacco to make about 1,000 cigars, so they make 1,000 cigars. When these are gone, they'll continue to change. So if you see the Autonom on there, that is a project band essentially for them. Tons of flavor, beautiful cigars. If you get these in the humidor now, it's probably best to let them rest just a little bit. But
This one's perfect.
we were a little bit too excited. We put it on the floor and we launched the things. This is smoking great right now, but it is.
This is utterly perfect right now.
Yeah. It's really works. A ton of flavor, but unique flavors. They have one called the RVGN, the Rauschvergnügen, which is developed and designed, and we should say engineered, to be like driving on the Nürburgring. And as soon as they told me that, I said, all right, I haven't tasted it, but I love it already.
Yeah.
The line is awesome, and the guys are stellar. You get a feeling that this probably went through about 500 renditions to get to this cigar.
There's no doubt about it. When you talk to these guys, I talked to Oliver yesterday in Germany, and when you're talking to them, you're just talking to engineers. I mean, these guys, they have set out to design something, as an engineer would, to design something perfect.
But it makes nice cars.
That make
Yeah.
absolutely they do.
It's my first time trying it too. I love Lancero.
Oh yeah.
Mike Wider's in. What's happening, Wider? How you doing? That's
So have y'all talked about having those guys here?
yes. So it looks like the guys will be here from. Hey, prefaces. Let me back up. I was speaking with a large manufacturer. Why aren't we in the lounge? Well, a couple reasons. One, haven't seen you since 2019. I know your rep lives in Austin. Yeah, well, see, here's the thing. I said, well, okay, before this,
COVID was over in Texas a long time ago.
let me just explain to you.
Long time ago.
These guys are in Germany.
Yep.
We just opened their line. They already have 2 times that they're scheduled to come to our lounge from Germany. once in June and again in October. We're going to do an Oktoberfest.
Love it.
So you see these big manufacturers that have guys that live 2-3 hours away,
Yeah.
and they're not here.
We have
These
guys that
are
live
gonna
in
be here.
McKinney and don't come over here.
100%. We
Yeah.
have, and then we have guys like Mike Weidra and Pablo. Pablo lives in Switzerland. He'll be here 4 times this year.
He's my guy.
Right?
He's my
He's
guy.
there.
Pablo
He's
is.
everyone's guy. Yeah.
Pablo
It's
is
just
it.
a damn shame he lives on the other side of the world. But
Well, look how many
It
times.
doesn't feel like it though, because he's always here. Right?
Yeah. But look at Darren. Darren's usually on the other side of the world, and Darren's here a
Yeah.
ton,
Mhm.
absolute ton.
But this line for me is magnetic. I can't smoke enough of it because it's so unique. Good flavor, very
Yeah.
smooth.
Tons of flavor.
I mean, it's just so smooth. It gets out of the way, and it's just nothing but flavor. It's very, very nice.
And I smoked the Rumsite before this, and that's a cigar that's actually not going to be out for another 6 to 8 weeks. But I smoked that. It reminds me very much of the Principal Cochon Vallon, but with a little bit of pepper, which you don't get with the Cochon. And it wasn't too much. It's just the proper use of pepper. But this cigar is so good. And I'm a huge Lancero fan. In fact, Oliver was asking me, because he had told me how many of these Lanceros he had left. I said, okay, well, we're just going to buy them all. And he's like, well, how many Lanceros do you guys sell? I said, we'll sell that in 3 weeks. And he's like, I don't understand. And we had another manufacturer was also on the call. And I pointed out to him that we go in and actually explain the benefits of a Lancero. Where if some big He-Man goes walking into the humidor, he's not going to grab this slender little cigar.
No.
He's going to go grab something that he thinks is a lot of cigar for the money. And it's typically a big cigar, big ring gauge, all the other stuff. It's just so diluted.
But you're always on a smaller ring gauge.
Yeah.
Always, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You go Siri P Corona,
Yeah.
Black Dahlia,
Yep.
Corona Gorda, the Crux du Connoisseur.
Yeah,
You're
that's-
small
that's
ring
one of
gauge
my
all the
favorite
time.
ones. Yeah, that's a real one.
What's your lineup? What are your cigars that you just can't live without?
Well, the Crux, the Toro, Black Dahlia. Well, hell, all the ones you said. Were,
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, though, all the ones you just said.
Have you had the Zulu?
I have not had that yet.
Oh.
Yeah.
He needs to
Corona
say
Gorda,
Zulu
Lancero.
Lancero. Yeah.
Yeah.
Guess I'll be getting that when I leave here.
Yeah. And it's the same guy who did the black or does the Black Dahlia.
Yeah.
Oh,
You just read him.
yeah, that's who I just met.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I like his line.
Yeah.
Really
I challenge anyone who's watching right now. I challenge your cigar lounge to name exactly what cigars that their clients smoke.
Yeah.
I don't know any cigar lounge that does that.
No, we could.
No, they're probably. I mean, the big spenders. They'll know the big spenders. They'll know like the guys that keep the lights on, the 4 or 5 that are at their lounge.
Okay, so maybe a handful.
Yeah, a handful, right.
Yeah, but you can. I mean, you just named up.
But
Look,
don't
look,
give me
yeah.
any credit because this motherfucker
Take
over
your
here,
credit though, man. Take
No,
your
but
credit, though.
I'll tell you what.
He
I
only
think.
smokes 4 cigars.
I think it.
I
But
smoke the good ones. I'll mix them in every now and again, but I got my favorites though.
But I could tell
When
you-
spend the money on a cigar.
I bet you
gotta
we
go
could
with
go
the
get.
favorites.
I bet you we could go in and get 5 cigars for Rashad that he may or may not have smoked at this point, and I think we would nail it. As
Right.
far as nailing what he would,
yeah, I
what
mean-
he'd smoke.
He wants to, yeah, his palate is perfectly in line with the lounge's palate.
Yeah.
That medium, good flavor, good depth, great performance. Everything that you smoke, you could smoke other stuff, but you just find what you like.
Yeah, I grew into it though. Like, I started with, the commercial brands, the flavor brands. But like the reason I've been here since, for so long though is that again, like I was introduced to smaller brands that don't put out a lot per year, but a lot's put into making them good. And so like now, like I go to I've been to other cigar lounges and I didn't go back just because of that, because they don't have what I like.
Yeah.
They have like the commercial brands that everybody speaks about, everybody knows the brands of.
Exactly.
It was like,
The
if you
mass
had
produced
this,
stuff.
if you had that, like, what is that? Like, yeah, exactly. So I don't go back.
Yeah, Dustin's coming in, the Jake Wyatt Lanceros. The new Jake Wyatt Lancero Lithium,
The lithium is incredible.
it is. If you haven't smoked that, smoke it. It's fantastic.
It is.
JD Mars coming in, Crux, Espinosa, Christoph, Warfighter. I'll leave that.
Yeah,
Mil
you're gonna
Diaz.
have that.
Getting smoked a lot in Paris. Warfighter does not belong on that list in my book.
No,
If I can be honest for a second.
no.
What
Swing
are,
and a miss.
what are some lines that you've smoked that you just set aside? This is the section, the segment of the show that someone could clip out here and then just say, look at these assholes. But moving into look at these assholes clip, I'm curious, what have you guys smoked that you just can't go back to?
Well, we get the opportunity
Well,
to
but-
we get the opportunity to test a lot of cigars. We did a test after you guys got back from the trade show. This was the only cigar. We had 8 people in the evaluation. Normally it's just you and me and your brothers. But we had 8 people. We had women. We had people with different palates. And this was the only line that I think we've ever had where we had 8 2 thumbs up. It was unanimous.
Yep.
All the different cigars we tasted. But there were cigars that you brought back from the show. One in particular, it pissed me off. It was so bad.
Yeah.
As I'm smoking it, I'm like, you're wasting my time. This thing is so
Like a
bad.
Gunter Steiner moment.
It was, yes, it was a Gunter Steiner moment. And it was there. So there are a number of cigars out there that are not close.
Adrian, he says, yeah, Adrian, what's your favorite cigar?
Right now, it's probably going to be German engineered. Before that, it was Gran Habano.
That's mine. Yeah.
This guy, his favorite cigars, what he ever has. Whatever he
Oh,
has.
whatever's in his
Were
hand.
you waiting for that answer?
Yeah, that's what I was looking for.
That is the answer. The one in my hand right now. Yeah.
What are some that have been in your hand that you set down that you just went and picked up a new favorite cigar because that favorite cigar sucked ass?
Jeez. I don't leave room in my brain for that, and I just leave it out. I'll remember when I see it.
See, that's my problem. If I didn't like it, I don't remember it.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a problem.
Because I have it one time and I don't even remember the name of it anymore. I move
But
on.
when you see it, I think, you know what, I've had this before, and if it's not recollecting, then yeah, I'm going to put it down.
You know who in Lanceros though was that dang 1880.
That's
I never really
Yep.
liked Lanceros.
these
until
guys are talking
1880.
1880s right now.
Yeah.
So you'll see right there is
Hooligan sucked
a
ass. JD Martin says, amen to that.
there is a 1792 barrel pick that someone say whiskey did. That's the barrel. It is extremely wet, which when we pop that open, it's going to be toxic. But I've got 1,000 of the Gen 2 Lanceros coming in, which is incredible. And they're going to spend about 8 weeks in that barrel to make 1,000 whiskey straws.
Yep.
And
Coming back.
I'm really excited about that because that barrel's got the other barrel we had kind of ran out of gas. This one with
full
that
gas.
particular cigar, and in fact, I told Oliver about it, what we do with these, and he would very much like to try for us to try some of the different cigars in the barrel because he'd like to do a barrel project with us.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. I know he's into the Scotch stuff. That's what do we got? JD commented earlier. Just had the Patron Terre Blanche with a Herradura Selection Supreme Tequila and Playa del Carmen last week with the Flynn's. I'm guessing that was pretty damn good.
I would say so, yeah.
Terre Blanche. Anything with the Terre Blanche?
And that tequila?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, damn good. Yeah, there have been some bad cigars that we've smoked. You guys have selective memory. I got some imprinted in my brain that you can't get rid of. Well,
Yeah, there are a few. I think
Yeah, you need to.
Yeah.
You need to keep.
there was a cigar, and I know that there are guys that like this particular cigar and this particular manufacturer, but it's a cigar that was called Protocol. That the Lancero was so underfilled that Andrew bent the entire cigar and had the ember right next to his nose, twisted it all the way around, and was still able to
That
smoke
wasn't
it.
the only one. Marty Upton, who's on here, or Frank is on here, can attest. We also did the same thing, where it was so underfilled we were making them like candy canes. It just wasn't there. And those guys are out of the Espinosa. The story, the guys are good guys.
Yep.
Yep.
I love the whole thing about it. It's just for some reason the cigars just are not rolled with the same.
Yeah, and I
nut.
think that there's a cost to have quality control, and there's a cost if you don't do quality control. Like the guys at Crux go to Nicaragua all the time, because if you're not in that factory, things will slip.
Is there an uglier car than that Oldsmobile? I mean,
By the way, it's Tuesday night, so it's movie night tonight here at ICC, and we're showing the classic. We're showing Fletch. And there are some of those cars. The Cutlass Sierra. Man, that had some crushable
God,
lower
look
in
how
it.
bad all those cars looked. Just hideous. Bad
Yeah.
time in the 80s. Thank God for the 928 for pulling that one out.
Yeah, that's
Let's talk cars, shall we? Because we're on we're smoking German engineered, and you've had some American cars. Your truck, which did you get rid of your truck?
Yeah, I got rid of it.
That Blazer,
Yeah.
that is an incredible looking car. Have you seen this thing?
It does look good.
I've seen it a few times. I'm like, it does not look like a Blazer, but I like the way it looks.
Yeah, it is.
It's crazy.
It's good.
So
looking
when I was getting ready to get rid of my truck, I was just gonna sell it, which is weird to say about an automobile that had some equity in it. And I happened to be at Kroger, right? And I'm walking through the parking lot. It was dark, and at the walkway, a car stopped, and I looked, and I didn't know what it was. I'm like, man, that's nice. It was all black, just blacked out, and it was a lady, and I looked, what was that? And it was Blazer. I'm like, okay, that's all right. Like, that's a Blazer,
It's like an SUV.
right?
I
So
know the same thing.
went home, I Googled it, and like, black. I'm like, oh my god, it's a nice looking
It
car, but I
looks
didn't know
good.
it was like supposed to be the SUV version of the Camaro.
Yep.
And so when
Really?
I took my truck to sell it, they actually had one on the lot, like one, right? Just one. It was fully loaded, and I took it for a test drive. And before I had my truck, I had a Lexus, and I'm big on bells and whistles. So my truck didn't have the bells and whistles. It was a Silverado. It was a sports edition. It was nice.
Looked great.
You know, and I fixed it up. You know, blacked it out, but this had more than my Lexus had. I'm like,
Had it all.
yeah, it had it all. And so I wound up getting it, man. I made it. I beefed it up a little bit, squatted it down. With some
It
wheels
looks
on
good.
Yeah, blacked out everything. But the crazy thing, it wasn't black. It looked black when I went out to the district. It was at night. But it's like it was a midnight blue, but it's got purple specks in it. So it's under a certain light,
Even
it
better.
looks purple.
Okay.
Yeah, and like
I just saw that on
Yeah.
Saturday when I pulled up. I was like, fuck, that thing isn't black.
had
yeah,
no idea.
everybody sees it and it looks black, but it's a really dark navy
Nice.
with purple flakes in it, and
Which means it's impossible to keep clean.
yes,
Any dust and the flakes go
Yes.
away.
Yeah.
Any water
That's
and
the
the
only
thing looks
problem.
dirty.
And
I've
you know,
owned
the Texas weather like
Yeah.
this past week,
No.
we don't know if it's hot, wintertime, freezing,
I've
whatever.
owned one black car.
Tornadoes
That's
last night, whatever. You know.
I'm done on black
I've
cars.
never owned a black car, and now I have two.
Oh, really? Yeah, but your black cars are meant to be dirty.
So,
You got a big truck and you've got a Land Rover.
but when they're clean, they're clean. And then
Yeah.
a day later,
Except from
yeah.
14 miles away, you can see that door ding from that little shithead kid that banged into you at Kroger.
Well, see, that's why I got. I went detail shop. I got an unlimited detail for the month. I just paid a flat rate. I can
Nice.
take it back as many times as I want.
Yeah,
That's smart.
That's one thing they have here that we didn't have back home. Just this subscription.
Yeah.
Go anytime you want to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was paying for 2 details. I'm paying the exact same for unlimited for the month. It's crazy. It's right down the street.
That's a great deal.
At the dealer, or
No. It's a detail shop down the street.
oh shit.
Yeah.
Well, can you share that?
I don't know why they're losing money doing that, but I'll take it.
Yeah,
Get it while they're in
Hopefully I
business.
get grandfathered in if they change that and get smarter, but
Yeah.
Water's the next thing to go up in price.
Yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt. So what's been your favorite car you've ever owned? I want to toss that around to everybody. I want to
man.
hear what your guys' favorite car is.
Well, I'm a bang. Anybody knows me knows that I'm a bang for the buck guy. I would honestly probably this one, just off of where gas is right now. Like I said, I had equity in a truck, and what I got this for, I probably got this. well, I'm not probably. I got this one for probably about 18 grand less than what it was valued at.
You did
After
good.
I traded,
No
after I
shit.
sold the truck.
You
Yeah.
did good.
So it's like I have equity in this one, even more equity in this one now because I used to sell cars so they can't beat me.
Right. Yeah.
I'm anybody that knows me.
Yeah.
When it comes to bargaining, I'm gonna run a hard deal. I'm gonna walk out and you're gonna be pissed off at me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because if you give me any room, I'm gonna take it.
Yep,
I'm
that's
gonna take it.
that's one thing that when I was getting this Ale's new car, when I went and was looking for it, the first time that they just put the pressure on me, it was like, okay, we're done here. I'm done here. This isn't gonna work.
I'll leave with no
No.
vehicle and catch a Uber before I just take anything.
100%. So this one and that thing looks super clean. What's your guys' favorite cars that you've ever owned? If you could only have one car that you've had in your entire life,
I have it.
you've got a good.
I've got a nice stable right now, but interestingly enough, probably the 70 Monty.
Yeah.
You know, and I've got some nice cars, but
The 70 Monty is because same thing as what I think with the 928. You've got all these nice cars, but then I'm driving home from the lounge on Saturday. I pull up, and here's a car full of 25-year-old kids. Like, that's so cool. What is that? Like, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It's older than you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that-
Yeah, it is.
You had that experience on
I
Saturday.
had that same experience on Saturday. I mean, if I would have drove my other car, I have a Ferrari. If I would have drove that, nobody would have cared. They just figure it's North Dallas, and it is what it is, and
Right.
just another red car. But I pulled up in my, apple green Monte Carlo, and I stopped at Rudy's and got gas. 3 people stopped, but one guy
the
like
Rudy's deal.
slams on the brakes.
Rudy's got the best, cheapest gas.
Is that it? I didn't know that. I just knew I was almost out of gas.
I gotta go mid-grade or premium, and 2 weeks ago I went to Rudy's and premium was $3.99 and it was like $4.70.
Yeah.
everywhere
Oh,
else.
I had-
It is the
I took
cheapest.
a picture and I'm like, yo, and I'm sending it to all my friends like, yo, this is crazy. They were like, oh, I mean, but it's like $3.70. No, this is premium, $3.99.
That's a big deal.
Now I had no idea, but what was funny was this guy about my age comes pulling up in a turbo Porsche Cayenne, brand new, slams on the brakes, gets out, and just starts going, "That was my first effing car." And he's telling his kid who's about 18, "Get your ass out of the car, come over here and look at this." So the kid's has zero interest. Walking
That's bad
around,
parenting.
and I'm like,
Yeah.
so I go, yeah, my kids actually found this. This is my first car. They found it and they bought it for me. And he goes, see, that's what you can do. You should do something like that for your dad. I go, if all you want to do is the greatest thing you could ever do for your dad, get him his first car.
Mm-hmm.
But this guy, I think he would have handed me cash on the spot for that car.
Really?
Oh yeah, yeah. So yeah, no, I think I've had some fun cars. I had an 80 Z28 in 1980. I bought one of the first Mazda RX-7s. I had the Supra, and I actually bought a Mazda 626 because when I got in it, they pushed this button on the air conditioning vents, and they motored back and forth. And I thought, I gotta have that. All for that. The car went like 18 miles an hour downhill, but it had oscillating fans on the deal, and I thought, I gotta have that. I had it. I
What year
had
was
to have it.
the Supra?
Supra was like an 83, 84.
It was a white one, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, little headlights popped up on it. That was the shit.
There's
But
something about 80s and 90s cars that they don't do anymore. Like 928s, the
Yeah, there were some bad cars in the 80s, let's be honest.
there was.
The Fox Body
There were
Mustang.
some good ones too.
Oof. Yeah.
Mine, I'm a big fan. I love Rovers. Been driving Rovers for 25 years. But my favorite was a 1990 300Z.
Yeah.
Oh, you had a
I
300.
had a 300 lasted
T-tops?
a week. T-tops.
Oh yeah. Oh
Lasted
yeah.
a week before I got T-boned.
Oh.
Oh.
So then I went to an Acura, 90s still Acura, Integra, but 90s cars, like 90s Supra, love.
Well, the 90s Integra was a good car.
that
VTEC
car.
motor,
Yep.
V20. No, that's a good car.
That was my favorite car, even though it lasted a week.
Yeah, so these guys. JD Mars had a TVR. That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Wayne Ferguson coming in with a Chevy Tracker. That's a bold choice there. And then we've got Josh coming in with an M3 Mark II Supras are just, I agree. Those Mark II Supras, I was curious about that the other day, just to see what a Supra's going for. About a 200,000 mile Supra, those Mark II, 70 grand. Easy every time.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
My next car will be a 90s NSX.
Man, you better start saving like
I've seen
10 years
I
ago.
did the same thing. I did Google on those.
71 Chevelle. That's what
Chevelle.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Yeah. Now, what would
That's
you
what
do
I
with the
want.
wheels? Now, what would you do with it? Would you resto mod it and drop the thing down and make it more sporty with like an LS in it? Would you put big wheels on it and sit it up tall? What would you
I'm
do?
gonna go sporty.
Okay.
Resto mod.
Yeah, resto mod. That's the way to do it.
Got to.
Yeah, throw an LS6
You
in
don't
it.
want to. Yeah, you don't want to. Yeah, you don't
No,
want
I found your
to
car.
change it up too much.
I found your next car.
Oh, shit.
It's rolling across a Barrett Jackson coming up.
Ooh.
Oh,
Oh my God. Oh,
that's it, right?
if y'all can see that, oh,
That's a
man.
'69 Chevelle convertible.
Oh, a
resto.
convertible too. He found a convertible.
It is. I'll send you the link on this auction. It's gonna go. Barrett
man.
Jackson's gonna have that car. But that thing is.
Oh yeah.
That
And
thing
it's
is
got-
ridiculous.
it's got this.
Yeah. Black top, red interior, all custom.
JJ rocked a
Oh,
79
man.
Olds Delta 4-door. Man, that thing-
Delta 88.
Delta.
Yeah, you got to go like this to keep it straight.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That speedometer is like this.
Yeah.
Stage are doing the same.
Yeah.
It's like an EQ. Oh. Yeah.
But see, tight nose. Back in the day, back where you were probably running around Houston, there was a whole lot of steering going on like this.
Oh yeah.
There was
It
a whole lot of guys.
harder back then.
Those guys rolling around Houston.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, they're sitting on that armrest and they're turning the wheel, and that's something.
Actually, had to grip it. Let go grip.
That's your power steering belt was going.
Yeah.
That's what I love about riding in yours is you get this. We took a corner the other day. I thought I was going to fall out of the son of a bitch. You feel like the bumpers are going to drag on the outside, and then it just comes back to
Yeah.
normal.
You just put your hand against the opposite headrest so you don't slide across the
The
seat.
doors were so heavy.
Oh yeah.
You had to
Oh,
make
the
sure they was
sound.
closed. You had to make sure the doors was closed. They would like you hit a corner too hard, boom, it's coming open.
Do you remember when you had that Astro van that the door didn't close? So you made us wear the seatbelts then, just in case.
That's the only
Do you
time I
remember
made
that?
you wear seatbelts.
It was.
Yeah.
It was.
I was such a
The
responsible
front
dad.
door. Whoever was in
Seatbelts.
front had to hold it, and I was 6. You know, I mean that's the Astro van. Yeah.
Oh
that-
man,
It's-
Astro.
It's funny because that 928 has this. I grew up in that car.
Yeah.
You know, so I get in, I put on, the Dip, or I put on Montel, Jordan, I put on that stuff, and I took Alessia on a date, and I'm listening to I've just got all the playlists of shit that we used to listen to. Parliament, P-Funkadelic, the whole deal. It's like this, you're living the life that I used to live. We're going on a little, and Pops always told me, no, so the deck that you got
Yeah.
for Christmas it looks exactly like the Blaupunk that came in it, but it's got Bluetooth now.
Oh, perfect.
So that hooks up, and it's funny because before you had a Porsche, we were still rolling to that 98 Chrysler Town and Country, purple, in our pink house.
Do it for the quarter.
You always used to say, one day I'll have a Porsche, and you could say, hey, Pops, I'm going on a date, I'm going to take the Porsche. And sure as shit, 25 years later, I'm going on a date with my daughter in the Porsche. You know? So that has this sentimental value, but there is a connection that I have with this RX-8 I had, this red Rexy.
Yep.
I think it was probably because of where I was in life. I was young, I was, 20, 21 years old, and shit, I didn't go anywhere but to a friend's house and to work and to school, and that was that. But just the feeling of the windows open, 6-speed, that was just my car, that's why I'm currently always looking. I was like, that's gonna be my track car.
There was a little bit of a sleet storm, and he slid into a car going about 4 miles an hour.
I was going 12. I remember I was going 12.
12 miles an hour. And they totaled it. All the airbags went
I
off.
remember I was going 12 because when I was coming up to the light, the coolant light came on, but it looked like a little carousel. It looked like something at a circus. And I looked down and I was like, what is that? And by the time I had looked up, there was a car, and I hit the brakes, and I could still see it was set, boom, like this. Airbags all go off. So body damage was about $500.
Yeah.
Because the first didn't have a passenger sensor in it, all the airbags went off, and all of the seatbelts locked. So I totaled it. I drove the thing home. It was fine, but to this day, that's the car that I just wish I had.
That was those good rental cars, man. You could hit a deer and keep driving back.
Yeah.
Then, right?
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, really, you can hit a deer and keep driving.
Now, if I hit a deer in that Monte Carlo, I don't even think it would dent it.
Yeah.
I think it would just,
It's got
the deer
steel
would fly about
bumpers,
50 feet in the air.
That thing, you can hit that car, it's just that steel.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you create this shockwave when you close the door.
Oh, yeah.
What year is J. Scott's Continental?
64.
So
No, his is a 67.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, a little shorter.
Wayne came in with his dream car, 65 Lincoln Continental.
65. It's got to be what did he say? Triple black?
Well, he said hardtop.
Oh, we
Hardtop?
had a 64 triple black Lincoln soft top. The Kennedy, it was like the Kennedy car. Kennedy's was actually 62, but the 64, that wouldn't fit in a garage built in a house in North
Was it a
Iowa.
soft top because it had hydraulics?
It was a convertible.
It was a soft top.
Yep.
It
That
was
whole,
like
the whole
23 feet
trunk
long.
opened up, and then the top would go in, and then it would close back down.
Yeah.
Smooth like a fucking boat, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it was a
Just
land
ride,
yacht.
yeah.
That was a land
I
yacht.
missed them day. We just
Right. Yeah.
The old school Cadillacs were that way
rolled
too.
over.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you need a speed bump? Yeah.
No.
No,
Nothing.
it was just a completely different thing.
Beers don't spill. My uncle's
Right.
dad would drive Cadillacs. Back in the day, you can, in the 70s, right?
Yeah.
You had the little cooler beer and have me a course.
Wouldn't even waste.
No
Oh, yeah.
way.
Yeah.
Glide. This is glide.
Glide.
Yeah.
Yep. That's it. That's
Well,
it.
okay, so if you grew up near Houston, what were the cars? When you were growing up, what was the car that you needed to have?
A Cutlass or a Regal.
Yeah.
Yeah, yours.
Oh, yeah. Straight deal.
So earlier I said,
Or if you had hood money, you got a Lincoln.
yeah.
You got a
Really?
Lincoln. Yeah, you got a Lincoln. Yeah, hood money, you got a Lincoln.
I told you about that in
The big boy.
Yeah.
But one of my dream cars is the 64 Impala convertible.
Oh, well, that's
And that
everybody's
was-
dream. Right?
Yeah,
Rest of my life.
Yeah, that was the one there, yeah.
64 Impala.
Yeah.
They made
yeah.
one that was called a 61 bubble top. They're really, really desirable. A lot of guys drag race them, but that's also a really cool car.
Yeah.
But if you get it in that 57 era cars, that's when they really accentuated the fins in the back. They did
But
some
at
really
the
cool
same
stuff.
time, that C1 Corvette, late 50s, get that big white that
Oh,
runs
yeah.
down the side of it.
Yeah.
Oh,
I take that back. Also a Cadillac back then. Eldorado.
Eldorado.
L-Dog.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dog, L-Dog, man.
Eldo Barritz.
If you had an L-Dog, use that guy. Use that guy, man. You
Yeah.
use that guy.
If you had a
that
Barritz.
was for gangsters.
Straight
wasn't
street
it?
pharmacy.
That
Yeah,
was-
use street pharmacists. Yeah.
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 So we did that project with Jalen with that 73 Eldorado. He said that it was to pay tribute to Buddy Holly. He was paying tribute to all the guys.
Berry.
Chuck Berry. He was paying tribute to all the guys in the hood when he was in
Yeah, he was
Indianapolis.
nice about
In
it,
Gary,
yeah.
Indiana. That's what he was doing.
That's why he wanted the white walls. with
yeah,
the
he wanted the
stand-up
white
heads,
seats, yeah.
100 spoke wheels,
Yeah.
the whole deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You were talking about the NSX?
Oh, that's one of my dream cars that I'll end up getting soon. But I'm not a sports car guy though. But I just love the styling.
It's got a
and
great
everything
motor.
about it.
That was the Japanese Ferrari
Thanks for
killer back
rides,
then.
man.
Oh,
So
incredible.
we're 50 minutes into the show. This is our virtual cigar lounge
We're
experience.
50 minutes into this thing already?
50
Yeah.
minutes, and we have 3 questions that we.
Yeah, we have
Let's
that.
throw the one and let's get back to the cards.
Let's do that. So we have 3 questions that we typically ask our illustrious guest here every week.
Okay.
And we'll start off with the first one. Bigfoot. Are you a believer or not?
On a scale of 1 to 10.
I'm an 8. I believe anything that
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you what.
Adrian, if he had shot at it, it doesn't exist.
It's hard for me to believe in anything that I haven't seen.
That's why I'm a
Because-
0.
He's a 0.
Oh, so
But
he's a 2.
I'm 8.
8, yes.
You got to prove me wrong. That is one of the. Anybody know me?
Yes.
This is my favorite. This is my favorite line. I got this from my boy Drake. Show me. If you can't show me, how can I not believe it?
Oh, so he's the other way.
It's the opposite.
Yeah.
Starts at belief.
Prove to me that
Yeah,
it
you
doesn't.
gotta show me.
Okay. I have a feeling the rest of the questions are
Because there's a lot of stuff older than us that we don't know about, right?
That's what I'm saying.
If we don't know, how can you say it don't exist?
I have an idea. I think we're gonna have a lot of hits here.
Because I'm gonna go here with it. For all those not religious, this has nothing like I'm not on some religious stuff, but it's like a lot of people believe in God, so how can you not believe in hell or the devil, right?
Haven't seen any
So
of
that's
them.
how I look at everything. If you believe in anything that you can't see or touch, how can you say it don't exist? That's my thing.
Does that
So I leave.
budge you at all?
It's
He's still drinking.
It's an open-ended situation. If you can't prove it does exist, how can you prove it don't exist?
Adrian, your rebuttal.
I haven't shot it yet.
I've never seen it. And people try to take pictures, and it looks like the picture's taken with a potato.
Right?
And with these,
Through a potato.
4K phones, right? And you get this blurry, image and videos. It's not, don't exist.
Other side of the spectrum. What's the second? Or should we sit on it for a second?
No, I'm excited to hear this
Yeah,
now that
yeah.
I know that
About
he's
the
that he's.
devil and-
Oh, Adrian, you're low. Josh is coming in saying you're a little bit low on your drink.
Yeah, I'm glad.
Thank you, Josh.
That's a great public
Yeah, he
service.
needs to drink a little more
That's
so
a
he open
great
his
public
mind up.
service.
He needs to open his mind up a little bit.
That's
we didn't
one of
put
my
Get you some
favorite guys.
Bigfoot
Yeah.
juice in this.
Yeah, give him
thing.
a little Bigfoot juice.
You need a
I
little
like
Bigfoot
that.
juice.
Yeah, you need a little bit of
I'm
Willie's tobacco.
I'm gonna say this about me. Everybody knows me. That know me. I'm devil's advocate. You gotta prove it to me or show me.
That is.
Thanks, Johnny.
You have the floor.
What do you got?
Just waiting. I grew up Catholic, so I believe in, or
Things you haven't seen.
spirits. Yeah.
Aliens.
Oh, you want the next question?
No. I'm just saying. That's basically.
Yeah, I mean, I have
Angels
to
are
answer yes
aliens.
to that. Yeah, I believe in God and the devil
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But I've never seen it, but that
Again,
gets-
He
Yeah.
has to see it to believe it.
yeah.
He's
I'm
on the
different.
other side.
Yeah,
I know
I'm
where
different.
he's going to be.
I know where he's
right?
gonna be too.
But I think on one of them he's had an experience. So let's go with
Let's
the
go with that
question
one.
number. No, we'll go question number 2. UFOs. Yes or no?
Extraterrestrial life.
You have to believe that, right? Because it's like the same way that we exist, how can something else not exist?
I'm with you.
I'm with
Humans weren't the first thing on Earth, right?
Yeah, you're right.
So how can you say it don't exist?
We might, and we aren't even
We're
the
not
first
the only
civilization
planet.
of humans.
We're not the only we're not the only solar system.
Yep.
That's
They say
We-
there are millions
we-
of planets like
See,
Earth.
this is where people go wrong. We don't believe what we can see or we've seen. But as, for example, my first cell phone, it costs $1 a minute to make a call. Now we've got unlimited. Did we not have unlimited back then? We could have had unlimited back then, right? But they had to make the money. We had to believe in the internet. When I was in college, you know what the computer lab was? It was a computer, and we just typed stuff on. There was no internet.
Yep.
We had dial-up. There was no Google. Like kids now, they can go on the phone. Like, I don't know what blah 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 is. Well, let me Google it. Right?
Yeah. Hey Siri.
We didn't have any of that. We didn't have Siri. We didn't have any of that.
No.
Like literally, my first self. Do you know how many months I missed that payment?
How much is it?
Hold on. It was a minute a call, right? Now you take a kid now versus a kid when I was in college, right? Girls, etc. You always went over the limit. You always. But think about when they created free calls after 7.
Yeah.
Changed
that's
everything.
Ron calling time.
Yes.
You're not setting
Well,
shit up
I'll
at
even
noon.
go further than that. When they had the first incoming minute, how many times you answer your phone at 50 seconds? All right, call me right back. Right?
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
That's true.
Hey, no, you're.
Look
I
at
don't
where
think you're wrong.
technology just went. What we didn't know then versus what we know now.
Look, and Sam, Sam, I don't know if it's Fennel or Fennel. I don't know how the hell to say it. But Sam is, well, let's just say he's a scientist.
Right.
Okay? In his spare time, he studies quantum physics. Okay? To your point, he says, reportedly there are trillions of exoplanets like Earth.
Say less.
Come on.
Say
Come
less. Say less.
Trillions.
They need oxygen to breathe.
And maybe they don't. Maybe
Or
they
maybe they don't. Maybe they don't, right?
Yep.
Think about when the first
Wait,
man
what's
landed- think about
ironic-
the first man landed on the moon. We thought that was an accomplishment.
They did it with less technology we have.
They now are just sending people to the moon and just say it was a vacation or a trip.
Yeah.
If you have enough money, you get on the shuttle, you can go to the moon.
True.
Right?
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Maybe not the moon, but you go into the.
You can get into the lower
Yeah.
stratosphere.
See,
for
I
sure.
think deep. Like all these movies they make, it's based off stuff they've read from NASA that is classified, kind of, not really.
Mm-hmm.
You never know.
Never know.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
How many times we
I
find some in the ocean? There's a prehistoric fish that we didn't know existed until we went like 10 million below the sea level. Right? Come on, man.
No, but do you remember? Not that long ago, 20 years ago, there was the myth about the giant squid.
Right.
You remember that?
Yep.
Off of Japan, they set
And
the
what
cameras
happened?
down.
And what happened?
And then what happened, right? The giant squid is the thing. That's here. That's an alien. I mean, there's a lot of stuff under the sea that's pretty alien.
Yeah.
Yep.
Pops thinks that the aliens are living under the sea.
Hey, that's the best place to hide.
That's a good point.
Shit, they just now I was telling you about that documentary where the guy built the $16 million capsule, and they did a whole series. He went to the deepest parts of 5 different oceans, and he got down into areas, he was miles below where they have ever charted, ever. And he's going below that area and landing on the bottom and seeing shit down there that is crazy.
When you think about history, history is based on what we know, right? What's happened. But damn, when you think about what we don't know,
That's the future.
Right.
The future history.
Right.
Same thing with cigars, right? You don't know how many future cigar smokers just haven't had their first cigar yet.
there was a moment where I thought the only cigars was Cohiba.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about cigars, right?
I'll take you back 30 years. It was a Swisher Sweet.
Yep.
That was my first cigar.
I had Swisher
Right,
Sweets
yeah.
at
Yeah.
15
Black and
years
mild.
old.
Hey, and what do we do?
Yeah.
Ruined them. Not
I didn't
really.
know what he was doing.
Not really, but we kind of ruined it, right? Because it was all about the wrapper.
Yep.
Now I understand what a wrapper is on the cigar
Yeah.
and what purpose it has in the cigar. I understand what a filler has in the cigar. It's totally different.
No wooden tips.
Why would you? I got friends right now that I take the best cigar right now in the humidor, and we'll split it open and gut it and fill it with weed. And it's like,
Oh no.
what you just put in there is not even worth what was already in there.
Yeah.
It cost way more than what was in there.
Yes.
Oh, give him an Adabig.
No, don't give it an attitude.
You don't do that with that, right? You don't do that. with that.
Yeah, it's a respect.
But again, though, right? It's like, but again, like we exist only as what we know.
Yep.
Well, I know what the answer is to the next one. but
I don't. I
we're-
really don't.
We're gonna
know.
throw this out.
Throw it out.
Question number 3: ghosts. Do they exist or not? If you believe in them, have you had an experience?
Yeah, I've had a couple of experiences.
All right, okay, here we go.
Good. This is what we look for.
I'll say this.
What had happened was
No. And it's a sad story, but a real story, right? I had a friend committed suicide. That was in high school, right? In their room, in their house. Well, all the friends, we when you grow up, you have one friend usually has like the hangout spot.
Yeah.
Committed suicide in their room, and we would play music in that room. And if no one was in the room, some CDs were like that, right?
Yeah.
It would, no matter what was playing, it would skip. Brand new CD could be a brand new CD would skip. Then we would go in the room to change the song, it would stop. Same situation. We used to walk to the Dollar Movie, and the street lights would just cut on as we walk. Right?
As you're walking by,
As we're
they're
walking
flickering
by,
on and
they would
off.
just- yes. No, they would just cut on. It would be dark, and as we walked, they would just cut on. And we always took it as his name was Brandon, right? And we took it as he was just making sure we got there safe, we could see everything going on, and that one room, no matter what song, what Brandon said straight out the box, we played in that room because it was the room with the we call them record players back in the day, and it would start skipping until somebody walked in the room, and we took that as he was skipping the CD to make some people come into the room where he was at, his spirit, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, hey man. And we were walking, like back in the day, we were walking these dark, it wasn't Ubers, wasn't any of those type of things back then. And we would just walk to this dollar theater every time, and those street lights would just, it'd already be dark, and those street lights would just come on as we walked under them. Like, as we passing the one, boom, getting ready to go to the next one, boom, and like they would, crazy.
They wouldn't all come on down the
No,
street.
it wouldn't come on
as
like
you're
at one
walking
time.
by 'em.
It's just we're walking. And I got guys right now that will call in right now or come here and like they will verify this story.
That's deep.
Yeah, that's deep.
Yeah.
Adrian had seen the demon baby.
Yeah, Adrian saw the demon baby.
Demon baby. I've never seen a ghost, but when I hear stories about spirits and afterlife, and especially someone so close that I've never experienced that, but I believe it. What you said, I truly believe what you said, and yeah, I mean I won't dismiss that at all.
Yeah.
But the demon baby, that was just fucking.
And me personally, like I've had dreams of people I've lost close to me. Like my dad, he died last year. Couldn't say bye, but I've had a dream, one dream, to where that's what it was. My dad was living. In that dream, we got the hug and cried out. Told him everything would be all right. Never had a dream again.
Yeah.
Right?
That's so.
I
it's
did-
what we
I-
talked
it's
about
funny.
last
That's the
week.
one moment that
Just talked about
I didn't
that.
get to say goodbye, and he told me bye in that dream, and never had it again.
Yep. That's
When
so
my dad
amazing.
passed a couple years ago, he actually came in the door. I have a door in my bedroom that goes to outside. He actually came in that door, and we hugged, and that was it. It was interesting. I was watching this show with this medium that's on,
Yeah.
and everybody's like, it's the guy's full of shit and everything else. But he made an interesting comment that people will come to you after they've passed one time to let you know they're okay, but they don't keep coming back to you because they don't want to extend the mourning period or the mourning process.
Exactly.
They want to just let you know they're good. And when Nick passed, I had a dream with Nick in it. I saw a house collapsing with a tornado coming, and I saw him in the window, and then I saw him run downstairs to the basement.
I remember you
down
talking
down
about
to
that.
safety. So it was just one of those things but it's only been once, and then you don't see it anymore.
And I've had that dream with a couple people that were really close to me. I've had that dream with a couple people. So it was just about them saying bye, and I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for that dream with Nick for sure. But I am 100% with you. I think that spirit element, that last physical touch. I remember when Chris passed away, it was like the same thing. It was, I still remember the way that his hand felt when he just shook my hand. He's like, "It'll be okay," and then woke up, and that's it.
That's it.
One time, it's just that one time.
That's
And
it.
even when dogs pass,
Yeah.
Right.
sometimes when Hallie passed away, it was like she ran right here, boom, saw you. It was just this cool moment.
Yeah.
It's almost let you know, don't worry about me.
I got it. And it was this, what's weird is, and my ex-girlfriend had that, and her grandfather was a Vietnam veteran,
Yeah.
staunch atheist, didn't believe in anything in the afterworld, didn't believe in anything at all. And when he passed away, I remember that because it was this, he came to the dream and he told her, "This is real, this is beautiful, this is awesome, I'm here with your grandma, everything's okay. And it was this moment for her that was this, and for all I know, it was the only time. But I am completely 100% with you. I've had similar experiences. Couldn't agree more.
Me and my mom talk about it all the time, like the same things with the same people happening to me and my mom, and it's crazy because I like, hey, I had that dream. She's like, and it's crazy though because it's almost like my dad was my hero. Like that was like my dad. Like he was a paraplegic since I was 15, and in the dream he was as I remembered him at his strongest point. Yeah, and it's like that's what was crazy about it because like. The man that passed away was the man I remembered. Yeah. It wasn't. It was like my dad was like, you talking about to be a man, stand up on your own, like what you believe, and that's the person that helped me, like in that dream, and told me like, hey, everything's okay, I'm good. We hugged, we cried it out, but it's almost like we cried it out because I knew that was the moment, that was it.
Yeah.
And I haven't had that dream again. I've never had that dream again.
I'm curious if. We talk about that mourning process, and as you're into it, what I've noticed is the people who want it the most, like exactly what I said, like, well, I'm still asking, come give me a hug, you know, who knows when it will come. But it's almost like if you're not quite there yet, you don't, maybe you're too connected to it. You know, you think about that, where maybe with your dad, maybe there was almost an acceptance because you realize he was under his full function. He was in a place where he was good. So maybe you had given yourself. And almost like he could see that point of view where he's like, okay, cool.
And it's always like a place of like solitude where it's like we were in like a park by a tree. Like a nice, cool, you know, like a place. Like anybody goes to a park, they go to have fun, you go to a park, right? It was like on a tree. He walked up. It was like, oh, it's crazy. Like, and I'm not thinking in the dream like he's gone. Yeah. It was like it was his way of just saying bye. So that's why I believe in all that. Like, cause I'm like I personally needed that. I needed that. Like, my dad died. It was like not expected for me, right? Because you know he'd always been a paraplegic, but. His vitals were always always good. Like he was just paralyzed. He couldn't move, but he, you know what I'm saying? He could talk, everything. And it's like, you know, my mom giving that call was like, what? I wasn't ready for that, right? I wasn't. Like, I was not ready for that because like, was your dad here? So you,
no. I can't
know
think
how
it
feels, right?
I want to
it's
start
hard
talking
to
about cars again.
Right?
Yeah, I can't think about
it. Like we won't change the subject because I'm gonna get emotional. But
no. We need
like,
to move on.
you know, and that's how it was for me. But I needed that, like to tell him bye because I didn't, and it was like all those moments where it's like, man, I called or I didn't. Really, the ones where you didn't call when you meant to that day, and it was like, But I'm cool now with that.
But it comes down to that time you didn't call. It's like I remember we were playing football against a certain team. I remember of my entire career, I remember the one time I could have made that catch. But I just stuck my hand out. I didn't give it everything. Yeah. I remember that moment. You know, those times that you go half-ass, that's the ones that sting, right?
Right.
It's a weird situation all the way through.
I like JD's comment.
JD, I stayed at this is going to get us off. I saw this too, which is great. I stayed at the Jefferson Hotel in a room that was supposed to have a ghost lady in it. Was hoping for the holy threesome, but it didn't happen. So I'm on the fence about the ghost at this point. JD, thank you. Well done.
Yes.
Okay, cars. Okay. We talked about our dream cars, right?
Yeah.
What's the use? What's the use in your dream car? Is it cruising around? Think about what the perfect experience is for you. Are you going to drag race it? Are you going to drive it around town? Are you going to track it? What are you going to do with your car that everyone has put in a ton of different comments on what their favorite is? What do you do with it?
For me, it's just to get it.
Just to look at it.
It's just to get it. And I did it. It's like everybody in life lives off a goal. And like before I'm out of here, like I want that car. I want that car.
What was yours? 70 Chevelle?
69 to 70.
Okay.
Right? If I could get that car, that's that checklist. That's that checkpoint. Like I'm done. I'm good. Like I got it. Like I've hit a lot of my points, but like that car, when I've seen a lot of cars, fancy cars, nice cars, expensive cars, but that car, I'm like, yo, that is me. If I'm like right now, if I was to take like a photo shoot of that car, it's me standing in front of that car.
See, here's the thing. I don't picture him black with red stripes. I picture that silver with black stripes.
Yeah.
That's what I picture.
Although he'd look pretty good in front of that one.
Yeah.
That would look good.
That's nice.
Is that it? That black with
I
red
mean
stripes?
that
Or
would.
you got-
And you know what's crazy about it? I'm not a red guy, but look really good on my car, and that's how I am. Like when I pick anything, whatever I want in life, like anybody knows me, I don't ask for a lot, but what I want. And seeing that one, I don't even like red like that. Right? I'm a blue guy.
Wait till you see the interior of that
But
car, you'll lose your
seeing
mind.
that, I'm like, even my Blazer, the outside's blue, but you know what? The leather is trimmed with red.
Oh, shit. I
I'm
haven't
like,
seen the inside.
yeah.
See it.
Yeah, I need to see that. What are you doing with the NSX?
I've never been into racing, so I mean, I'll take it back because I'm still a rotor guy, but I'll get a Defender, probably like a '90s Defender
Ooh.
before.
The new Defenders look good though, don't they?
They do, but you know.
Oh, don't be a pussy.
No, I mean.
No, he likes that. He wants to go old school.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's all
yeah.
electronic, controllers and stuff, and no, it'd be '90s Defender, 4-door, and I'd use it to fucking take it to rocks and climb shit. Yeah.
But the NSX, is that like what Rashad is saying? Just that's the car you've wanted your whole life, so it's
The
almost
NSX, going out to dinner with Kathleen, coming here,
Date card.
hanging out.
Date car, yeah.
Yeah,
That
taking
one,
out to
yeah.
shows.
yeah.
That
Guys
one.
need a date card, don't
That
they?
one.
And an NSX, and we used to have, and in fact, one of the guys that works there
We had
Acura,
we had serial number 0.
yes,
That was up here.
I drove in that car, and
Oh, that's
I
right.
don't know if you remember, but they were going to destroy it.
They
Because
did.
They
They
did.
scrapped it.
I don't think they did. Because I talked to the dude who lives in my neighborhood, and I said, dude, did you really destroy that car? He said, no. And I forgot the backstory, but they still have it.
Yeah, Dean is actually the one that got me hooked up with Holiday's car. And I-
Oh, perfect.
Now my dream is doable, and we need to do it. But it's the four of us in the Monty, windows down, Parliament on, smoking a cigar in that car. That
We could do that
because
tomorrow.
we could do that tomorrow.
Dude.
But you know what? But to your point, when I knew everything was right in the world, it's when I was cruising. In fact, I took my phone and took a picture, sent it to my buddy that spent a lot of time with me in my car originally. But it was seeing that hood ornament at the end of the hood, because that hood's as long as this
that's
thing.
big, like, that's big though.
Yeah, it is.
That's
and
the symbol.
I could see that hood ornament, and I thought, yep.
Yeah.
And it took me back to a time when I saw that hood ornament before, but I was 16, not 56, and it was.
But there's a different connection and appreciation you have.
Totally
for that.
different.
There's an appreciation for you turning the headlights off because Grandma's gonna be pissed because you're home late.
Yep.
That's. I remember the first time.
Oh yeah,
I bought the car.
I'd shut that thing off, put it in neutral, click that thing off, and come down the hill,
coast.
pull in, just completely dead stealth.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then I'd slam the door, and all the dogs would start barking.
Oh,
You can't quietly close the door.
no.
Nope, no
No.
such thing.
Does yours ring? Does it?
No.
When you have the door open?
No.
It doesn't.
No.
I remember Grandma's old Oldsmobile. She called it the Rocket. Would do that. If that thing was cracked even a little, that little light would be on, a little amber light, and it'd go.
Yeah, well,
if
that was
any of the doors were
that
open.
was state of the art back then.
Oh yeah, I can picture if I can actually get that car, take it to Eagles Canyon, be in turn 1, get that good heel toe, and just get that little side step with the downshift. Just have that thing dialed in, full throttle, wide open, throwing gears and throwing down good laps. That's what I want.
That would be-
I just want to go fast.
Yeah,
Go fast.
that'd be
Yeah.
fun. Well, I'm almost out of cigar. We're probably almost out of tape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah.
This turned out really good.
This was good.
Yeah.
wanna know
everything. I told you it was the day.
I kind of want to ask about that ice that you have in the 1205 and the meaning behind that.
1205 is the home I was raised. It's the house number where I was raised at. My
Oh, that's
mom still
awesome.
lived there.
Love it.
My dad was there, before he passed away. So this is just pay homage to it. Like I never forget where I came from.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah. Ours is 16266. That's a long list. I can't pull that off. Yeah.
You can pull it off.
No, I just need to get on your training regimen.
You need to get wider.
Yeah. I need to get them tight
Yeah.
shoulders.
Yeah.
That's what I need.
Yeah, only Nate could wear that thing and it would look normal.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
Yeah.
I think we gotta sign off from here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was
it was a good day.
light. It was heavy.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Cheers, man. Thank you.
It was good. Yeah.
You guys got a lot of empty glasses. There's an empty bottle to go along with it.
Thanks for joining us.
So that's it for Tuesday Cigar Talk Live. Be sure to
sir.
join us Wednesday night. Tales of the Lounge, and your show is
Lead and Leaf. With
Lead and
Vulcan.
Leaf
Yep.
with Vulcan.
Yep.
And then Thursday night, hopefully Begley can get somebody on for Size Matters. If